What's up, guys? It's Ben from My Sports Stop here with Richie Donnell. Today we're going to talk about Derek Barnett from Tennessee, a guy both of us like a lot.
Yeah, this kid, ceiling-wise, he's right there with all the other guys at this position that we just did, Thomas, Allen, and Garrett. He's a possible top 10 pick.
Yeah.
Where he goes is going to be based on how his pro day goes because of the illness that he got at the combine, which hurt a little bit. But this guy, he's a tweener. He's in the perfect position to really be a defensive end or an outside linebacker, I think, of any of these guys that were listed in front of him.
And the thing I like the most about him, or what stands out the most on tape, is when he goes one-on-one against offensive tackles, rushing the edge.
Yeah.
He's so good at one-on-one because his use of his hands, his footwork, it almost seems like he's going to win every single time.
Yeah, one of the things that I had written down was I got to watch his game against Nebraska, and Nebraska is like a middle-tier Big Ten team, but his ability to change speed to power and power to speed one-on-one with a tackle is incredible, and you need to be able to do that at the next level when every tackle is in the NFL for a reason, and even the better tackles are able to stop that. But if you're really good at it and the way that he uses his hands, he's going to be a force to reckon with.
Yeah. Another thing I love about Derek Barnett is, we're talking about him as a top 10 player, but it just seems like he has an underdog mentality.
He does.
Because he hustles every single play. We'll see him running across the field just to get a tackle. It's great to watch, and I know coaches are going to love it.
Yeah, watching his games and having seen him over the past 3 years, one of the things that I really, really love about him and comes with that mentality is his leadership on the field.
Yeah.
He's a lead-by-example guy who just goes out and gets it done, and when his teammates make a big play, he's the first one there to congratulate him and say, hey, good job, let's keep going, and kind of willing that team to victory, so to speak, in a lot of those games, because not only offensively, but this guy is he's the face of Tennessee football right now.
Yeah.
And what I liked most is when I went and looked back at his stats, he didn't record his first sack until Game 4 of the season. He finished the season with 14. So if he played, I don't know the exact number, but 12, 13, 14 games, you're talking about 14 sacks in 10 games essentially, which, that's...
In the SEC.
In the SEC is incredible, but 265 pounds, like we said, the versatility there, he can really play outside linebacker or defensive end.
Yeah, so who do you have him compared to?
Yeah, I have him compared to somebody like Terrell Suggs, who was a defensive end in college at Arizona, and then, now the way that Baltimore uses him, he kind of flipped between both depending upon the situation when he was younger. He was a defensive end, but then they would bump him out to outside linebacker if they needed it. He's somebody that I could see that as well. He could possibly do both, scheme pending. But where he ends up, I think it's going to be based on the team that drafts him.
And I have him compared to a former teammate of Terrell Suggs, Elvis Dumerville.
Yeah.
And when Elvis Dumerville came out of the draft in 2016, he also had kind of a bit of an underdog mentality. He came, I think, one of the mid-rounds with the Broncos, and he's just exploded ever since because I think nobody expected this from a guy like Dumerville.
Yeah.
And he can play both D-end and outside linebacker, and I think Barnett is very capable of that.
Oh, no doubt. The athleticism's there, and I believe during the combine as well, he also did the linebacker drills and showed off his athleticism. And despite being sick, went through it all and still even clocked in at a 4.840.
Yeah, it was really cool to see. So is he a top 10 pick in your opinion?
Talent-wise, yes. But how the board is probably going to fall, I don't think he'll end up there, even though he should. What's scary is you keep talking about that underdog mentality, chip on the shoulder. I think whoever passes on him is going to have to deal with that. And it's unfortunate because this kid, in any other year, is probably a top 10 pick. But just based on how the board falls out, I think he'll end up between 10 and 15, I want to say. But if a team doesn't need that end, he could slip farther, but he's a top 10 talent.
I tell you, if he even falls 11 to 15, I don't see why a team wouldn't be running up to the stage with that card in their hand, because he's just one of those players that GMs would love to have.
Yeah, I completely agree.
All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Remember to go on our website, mysportsapp.com, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more original videos.